Now I'm going to push the start button. Yay, here we go. All right, well, we're live again, once again. Welcome, everyone, to Astronomy Daily Live. You can call me Cosmic, and here we are again, gathering together. I was actually, I don't pay much attention to these kinds of things, but because I'm a nerdy scientist and all those kinds of things, I love numbers and I like stats and all of that. So I was looking at the YouTube stats today for this channel, and I'm up to 197 subscribers. So that that number doesn't say much in terms of sort of the YouTube space. It's about views and it's about view minutes. That's sort of the main metric there. So, and I look at them and I just acknowledge them. It's like, okay,
Carolina.
So yeah, so hey, let me start saying howdy to everybody in the chat. We've already been having a little bit of conversation over there. So let's see, Uncle Bill. I thought I saw him. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, Atta.
I want to say this before we get off into the numbers. It's about the ADL t-shirts. Now, if all of you want to proudly display to the world that you are a member of this unique intellectual group, ADL, and you order a t-shirt, here is what I've discovered about them. They do shrink a little when they're washed. So for those of you who, Bobby Burgess and Carolina, don't listen to this advice. The way that you guys are put together, you ought to wear a t-shirt that's painted on you. But anyway, for most of the rest of us, if you're going to order a t-shirt, you ought to order it a size larger than you take.
Oh, okay.
Depending on how loose you like to wear them. Now, I just washed mine in regular old warm water and dried it in a dryer. I didn't do anything special. And let's face it, if you're going to wear a t-shirt, you don't want to have to go to extra trouble anyway. So,
right, you just want to throw it in there and
that's right. I just wanted to warn all of you who want to get a uniform,
Very, very cool. Well, yeah, those are very much available over on Teespring. And since you mentioned it, maybe I'll go over and grab that link again.
And before you continue, I'd like to say my name is Bobby from Morgan City, Louisiana. And that was Atta Linta from Pennsylvania, the lovely and talented Atta Linta.
That's right.
and just want to let you know, the lyrics are coming. The lyrics are coming. The lyrics are coming.
The lyrics are a coming, and the lyrics are sort of here. So yeah, problem that you're going to run into if you're going to be trying to observe these guys is that you got that big bright reflective ball way up in the sky right next to Lyra. So which isn't a big deal because most of the time meteorites are seen elsewhere. They don't all start right in the constellation of Lyra, but they all point that way. So yeah.
I'm hearing a crying dog.
Yeah, we got a crying dog. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? When the kids scream. So that's all. So. All right.
So Atta, if you're going to be going back to the radio sooner or later, and you want to catch some scatter before you really do turn yourself to a plug, and try to catch some good stations that you probably will never hear.
Cool.
Okay.
Very, very cool. All right. So
just tune to an FM station, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. So also want to say hi to Carolina Sky Astronomy. Jim, nice to see you in the chat again. Andy Cowley, hey. Nice
Yeah,
to
hi
see you.
everybody.
Yeah, hey there, Tom.
Yeah, Contraya.
Nice to see Tom in the chat as well.
Hey,
And,
Carolina. It's too bad you missed last night. You got some good compliments, and your photos did.
yeah,
Your movies. Yeah.
keep
I
them
got a
coming.
lecture. I got a lecture on it's not the bowling ball, it's the bowler.
It's the
That
bowler.
makes the difference.
It's, up to a level, right? When you get to a really high level, then the bowling ball starts to matter.
Well, yeah,
But,
but most of
yeah,
us are not.
you've got to get really, really, really high up there. So and
I'm really still
and,
hearing that crying dog. My dog is just laying down.
yeah.
Oh,
Well, you just have to learn to ignore them because they're going to be whining. Whiny doggies. That's all right. No problem. All right. So yeah, I sat and looked at the eclipsing binary star, HW Virginis, for about 3 hours last night, and had a little bit of wind coming around and all that, but it wasn't all that bad. I collected about exactly 1,170 pictures.
And here's another shortwave listener, and that would be Page Master.
Hey there, Page Master, in the chat. Very, very cool. Moore, Oklahoma. Very cool. Nice.
You're going to catch some scatter tonight too, Page Master?
Try to catch those meteors. Yeah. You can hear those things with radio. So that's a great way. And, if you actually analyze the signals themselves, you can find out things about those meteors too.
And Check Me Out is definitely going to put school in streaming as her top priority. And she's almost done too.
Almost done.
2 more exams to go. 2 more.
Cool. Well, she's got it made in the shade, so she's good to go. Good to go there.
Hey, intruder alert! Intruder alert! Intruder alert!
Erd alert.
Erd alert.
Hello.
Alert.
How you doing?
Hey, Ron, what's going on over there?
Hey, not too much. Hey, did you see my picture of the sun?
I did.
yeah.
And I was wondering what camera did you use to take those?
That was my cell phone.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. They you can get a special mount.
Yeah.
For your cell phone to actually put right onto the telescope. So you might look into that.
That would be a lot better than what I was doing.
Yeah, it was just sort of a hand thing.
Yeah, but first time though, trying to test it.
They look great. Now, was that
good.
just a solar filter, or
yes, that was just a solar filter, and I just happened to get it in the scope, and it was focused. It looked like it was focused to me. I was using a 40 millimeter eyepiece.
Yeah.
So I can get the whole view,
Sweet.
So that was nice.
Yeah.
So who do we have on? Who's on the panel tonight?
So there's Bobby, there's Atta, and there's you, and there's me.
and your assistant, your lovely assistant you got there.
Well, I think Bobby is pretty lovely. Yeah.
No, I mean you're.
Hey! I thought Alta was more lovely and talented.
Actually, I think Bobby's pretty lovely too. Ever since I saw that picture of him, the little round picture. Remember that?
Yes.
Gotta love
Absolutely.
that picture.
Happy. And
now,
that's exactly how I like it.
Telescope that Ada has? Ada?
You want to
I
know
don't
what
want-
kind of telescope I have?
Yeah, what is that one?
Oh,
Yes.
the red one in
Yeah,
the
little-
back
yeah, the
is
little
my run outside quickly
Oh, okay.
telescope.
Okay.
That's a Sky Prodigy 130.
Oh, there
But
you
my
go.
heavy duty telescope is a Next Star Evolution 8-inch.
Oh, that's what I got. That's- you can-
Oh,
that's
it does.
all.
Mine does everything but talk to you. I've got
Yeah,
an automatic focus motor on it and
there you go.
botter diagonal. It's
There you go. See?
much better bowling ball than my skill deserves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Carolina should have this.
Oh, yeah.
So there's Ron's scope. Yes. So
See it?
both of you have the same
The same
scope. So that's
Oh, hey.
That's great.
While I got you here and I have your attention, that's wonderful.
Oh yeah, you still have that crummy little diagonal in there. I don't like that.
Well,
Oops, sorry.
crummy diagonal. What do you mean?
crummy.
I mean, it's okay. It works. The
And what is-
diagonal, the thing that allows you to,
Yeah.
the little triangle thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what do you mean by what is the other option?
Oh, there are plenty of other options for diagonals.
All right.
Plenty of them.
Give me some clues. I'm trying to learn.
Like Bader, Baader, makes a really first class 2-inch diagonal. Now,
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
you have to get for your, let's face, most of us have 1.25 eyepieces. You
Yeah.
have to get the adapter for that, but
Mhm.
it's good to get the 2-inch because then you can use 2 inches if you got them. I've
All
got
right.
a couple of 2 inches. Bader makes a good one. I mean, it really does make a difference
And then what's the advantage?
in your viewing. It's a
Oh.
better. Your images are much that you see are actually a lot clearer, a lot sharper.
Okay.
They truly are. You
Yeah.
have to pay through the nose to get this, but
Right.
it really does make a difference.
Okay.
Even with the stupid observing I do, I mean, at my level, I notice the difference. And if I
Nice.
noticed it, it's there.
Yeah, and lots of that clarity has to do with the eyepiece itself. So
It does.
but yeah, I think with the 2-inch, do you get any kind of vignetting or distortion on the edges? Have you noticed that? You might want to look at that the next time. See if you get any kind of vignetting or anything.
Not so much. If I had known when I got this scope what I know now, I probably would have gotten the model called the Edge, which gets rid of that
That's what I have.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah. I have the HD Edge. Yeah.
Okay, the Edge is good.
Yeah.
It'll get rid of that.
Yeah. And then I am impressed with what I have tested so far. And of course now it's raining, so it's not clear.
Same here. Same here.
But I'm learning about. I don't know about how to use the star sense. Do you have star sense on yours?
Oh, you bet.
Okay, now how do you? Okay, when I go to set it up outside for the first time, how do I line it with the north? Do I have to line it with the north, or do I just set it out there and let it go?
No, you have an alt. You don't have the wedge on yours, so you're not using the polar.
I just have the one arm, the single arm.
Yeah, you just have an alt azimuth.
All that, exactly.
mount.
Yeah.
So you start it out horizontal.
Yeah.
That's your starting position.
Yeah.
And then go on your controller and elect auto align.
Oh.
Because yeah, it's on your hand controller.
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. Exactly.
But you better make sure your software is up to date on that hand controller.
Okay.
You
Well,
go and
brand
get
new.
that CFM, that computer
brand new.
firmware update.
It is brand new though, so should I still need to get it updated?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the scope is brand new doesn't mean the software on it is. In fact, it can't be. When you say brand new, if you meant today or if you meant a couple months ago, is that brand new to you?
Yeah.
Okay. They've had an update since then
Okay.
to allow you to use the motor control to focus.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Your edge is an 8-inch, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Because the motor control won't work on a 9-inch. It won't fit.
What's the procedure to do the update to the firmware? What do you have to do?
Oh, you better go to the help file. You know the Nexstar. You know the Nexstar website. I have this all in my notebook. We'll go there, and they'll give you step-by-step instructions.
Okay.
But it's easy once you know how to do it. But the first time I did it, I didn't find it so easy. I thought it was scary because the worst thing that can happen to you is for you to brick up your system. I mean, you're dealing with the boot record here, man. You screw that up and it's over for you. And I'm there just covered with sweat, like I'm taking a bomb apart.
I don't want to mess anything up. I spent $2,500 on this scope. I don't want to mess it up.
I'm sure you don't. But you still would be well advised to make sure your firmware is up to date.
Okay.
And they do give you step-by-step instructions, and the instructions work. But you may need to get a special cable. The instructions say you can do the update through Wi-Fi because your scope, like mine, has built-in Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Well, I never had much luck with the Wi-Fi, to tell you the truth. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. So I just hardwired it to the computer.
Okay.
And then it worked. Then it worked fine.
Is it like the regular network cable?
I think it's the serial cable. Yeah, I think it's the serial.
You'll see in the instructions you have to load a particular driver, which they tell you where to go to get it. They tell you what to do. You have to load a particular driver on your computer. Then you have to get this cable. They're trying to make your computer think it's a parallel port or something, or an RS-232 connection.
I think it's a serial port. I think it's a serial port.
That's right. That's right.
Serial port.
That's right.
Yeah. And then
with his Radio Deluxe and his icon receiver. I forgot what icon he had.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think with mine, and actually I need to do an update on mine too because it's been a while. But I think I update mine. There's a connector. See if I can do it.
I'm going to go get mine, and it's easier to show it than tell you.
I don't know if you can see, but there's a connector
where I can
right on the hand
get it here.
paddle here. I think that actually connects to the serial port of the machine. So yeah. Pretty important.
Can you see that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it has a USB connector. This actually has a USB connector. I can connect it right to the phone. See that?
Cool. Yeah, so that's, I'm thinking that you might just be able to use that then. But that's
just a standard USB.
Look at the instructions. Yeah.
All right.
And those instructions, that has to work because otherwise hundreds and thousands of people, would just be ripping their hair out.
I think James Dugan had mentioned
wondering how the hell I can make this work again.
Yeah. What you do?
I'd like to welcome Chuck Nebum in the chat, and Jim and Danielle Browning. Jim is saying about YouTube and it's Wi-Fi connected with no hand control. He uses his laptop.
Oh, good for him. I'm glad it worked.
Yeah, I could use my phone on controlling the scope. I tried that already. So
it works good with Apple.
Yeah. And I have a Samsung Galaxy, so.
Oh, yeah, we're good with that too.
Yeah.
I went out and bought an iPad so I could control mine originally.
Yeah, either one will work on that. I have not tried it with the computer program yet, but I'm sure that would probably work as well once it gets going. So,
but you'll love that auto align. I have another device on mine I like that also it sets my location by a GPS unit.
Yeah.
I just set it to do that. Then no matter where I take the scope, I don't take it too many places. It's heavy, you know.
Yeah.
I have to take my scope apart to move it.
That's what I'd have to do too. I have it all figured out though. I got a case for the scope itself.
Yeah, I have that too.
And makes it easier for traveling, you know, when you get it in the car, you know, it's not rolling around in the back of the car. You know, $2,500 scope.
Now it would be easier if both of you would have a truck, but to make sure you get yourself covered for it.
Well, I have an SUV. I have a Buick SUV, so it just goes right in the back of that, and with no problems.
Yeah,
Then on my for the mount, I'm saving the packing that it came in. You know, the styrofoam that it came in.
Yeah.
And I got it inside a plastic tote with wheels. You know, and so now what happens if I take off the mount and I put the mount inside the styrofoam that it came in? It's not rolling around. It's not moving around. It's not going to get broken. And then I can protect it that way, you know. And then I can put it inside that plastic tote. It's not going to move around, nothing, you know. It's safe that way. And
well, I bought one of those big suitcase dealies, and
yeah,
it works.
That's what I got for the scope. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have room to keep all my packaging. That's the problem. I live in a small environment.
Well, I live in a giant house. I got plenty of room for a lot of junk.
I don't. If I get something new, I have to get rid of something old.
Oh, yeah.
I tell my boyfriend that.
Oh,
well. Sorry, honey.
That's great.
Jeremy for his scope so he can set it up. Boom.
Well, I'm going to have to get out of here. Amanda is doing a show over on the radio station.
Oh, great. Great. So how long is she going to go tonight?
10:30 is her start time for the comedy show, 10:30 Eastern.
Okay, so that's
Sunday,
starting in a couple minutes, right?
Yeah, Sunday Night Bunnies. Yeah.
Gotcha. Did she and Mark do a show this week?
No, it was a replay. There's your assistant. There.
Yeah. I hear a howl.
Yeah. All right. No, they had tonight off. They had tonight off, and then so me and Eric Hartwig. You know Eric Hartwig, I think he's American Road Warrior.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the state MUFON director for Massachusetts. Okay, so he's the head. If you see a UFO and you're in Massachusetts, then you have to talk to Eric. He's the one that controls that.
You have to, huh?
Well, if you want help investigating it.
Right. Yeah.
He's the one to go to. He has all the resources.
Nice.
I've
and I think I've mentioned this several times, but I have been out in remote, dark places for literally thousands and thousands of nights. And you would think that
you'd see something.
I would see something even remotely unusual. I have seen nothing at all.
Same problem.
I don't want to, and I mean, I don't really care.
You don't need to. You're like me. I don't need to.
I don't really care. I don't, but I have never seen anything where I've been like, oh my.
Sailors
Never.
say the same thing. Sailors
Yeah.
are out in the ocean. They've got all this open area to look at and nothing else to do. They say the same thing. They don't see little green men either.
You know what? The
Yeah.
only thing I saw that I thought was amazing. Of course, I was on the ship for 4 years, so the whole event was amazing. Don't get me wrong, but I saw in the Indian Ocean, I saw some fluorescent fish. They were glowing colors, different colors, yellow, greens, blues. All right, and they would be bright, and then they'd go dim. You know, why they got bright, I don't know, but some reason they got bright for some reason. The news came on a year ago or so and said, "Oh, some new kind of fish were found." And I was thinking, I saw those like back in 1981. I don't think they're that new, you know. And so it's like, what are they trying to pull here, you know? And every time somebody says something new, and it's like, well, I remember seeing that before, you know. And so you can't pull too many things on me, you know. But like cosmic lettuce there, you know, I do a lot of driving. I live in the middle of the cornfields out here in southwestern Minnesota, and nothing but open area here, you know. And I'm looking, and I've seen a couple of weird things like lights in the field when there shouldn't be lights in the field, but I never seen a spaceship flying in the sky, you know. And it's like, come on, guys, I'm waiting to see you, and nothing.
Now,
and
you don't want to see them. I'm with Stephen Hawking on that. If they have the technology to get here, they're probably pretty badass. I mean,
That's right.
you know,
All right, I gotta get going, people. Thank you for having me.
Ron. Yep.
We'll talk to you later. Nice to meet you finally. Out of or however you say that.
yeah, close enough. Close enough.
AT. I'll call you AT. All right, Bobby. All right.
See you later, Ron.
All right, Ron.
I might stop it after the show.
All right. Bye.
See you later. Bye. All right. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm really glad that you two finally met, because you basically have the same scope, and I know that Ron was having some questions there, so yeah, I think he just like you and just like all of us are waiting for some clear skies, so and that's why I'm here in southern Arizona, because it's clear a lot of the time. This actually winter and spring has been really unusually cloudy, but I think we finally have gotten a little bit of a break, and the skies are clearing up here. It's starting to get a little warm. So yeah, but yeah, no, I've seen a lot.
So Ron was saying he was going to do some YouTube videos with his scope, right?
Say that again, Bob. I couldn't hear you.
He's going to do some YouTube videos with his scope, right?
I'm not quite sure what exactly Ron's going to do with his. I think he still has to get to know it and figure it all out and all that. So yeah, with telescopes, literally, the sky is the limit. So yeah, there's lots of directions.
Okay, so Tom Van Stoddard did his on this day in 1997. The first space funeral took place. A cylinder containing some of the ashes of 24 people were put into Earth orbit from a Pegasus rocket operated by Celestis Inc. Ashes include some from Gene Barberry, Junard O'Neill, Timothy Weary. The ashes re-entered the atmosphere near Australia in 2002.
I remember that. Yeah, those were launched from a Pegasus rocket, which is a rocket that is launched from an airplane. And they thought for a while, that model of getting things into orbit was going to be easy and cheap, and I guess it is neither of those things. So I don't even think that
I think
Pegasus is
after
around
when
anymore.
Gene Roddenberry died, I think like Paramount wanted to butcher more of Star Trek when they come up with the new ones. Or what do you think about it?
Say that again. I missed the first part, Bobby. Sorry.
I think when Gene Roddenberry died and they launched those ashes, I think Paramount wanted to butcher Star Trek more with newer Star Trek, like in the remakes and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, I
Now, is it true or is it not true? Because every time that they actually did a remake of a popular series, it could be either there could be some ups and downs. Like that some say it could get butchered or it's all right and stuff.
Yeah, I think that being creative, you just sort of need to go, where you want to, and some things you're going to butcher, and some things are going to be great.
I usually think when they did a remake of Power Rangers, I think it was more butchered than easily remade.
Yeah. I think that is sort of a subjective thing too. Because you might find, lots of people saying that the remake, was actually better than the original. So yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. But in terms of UFOs and all that, I've not a lot, I guess.
I remember. Now speaking of like UFOs and stuff. I forgot when, but when I was at elementary school, we had a window at our classroom, and we saw the sky turn blood red, and everybody was like, "What is going on?"
Huh. So
I never did found out though.
Huh. How long did that last, and how long did it take to turn red?
Ooh, well, I think when we first took a glimpse, it just did turn red, and I think it lasted about
really
maybe
fast.
Yeah, and I think it took like about maybe 25 or 30 minutes and stuff.
Wow, interesting. Well, I've seen a lot of UFO claims and images and all of that, and um, in fact, I know several people here who have claimed to see all kinds of things, and I'm sorry to say, but a lot of them are just dead wrong. They want to see certain things, and so they do.
Sometimes, sometimes you gotta think about the technology that we got today, and letting it fall in the wrong hands. Yeah, you definitely can make some not so real stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
Because there's a legal saying of fake, and then there's an illegal way of saying fake.
Right. Very, very true.
Those that think that a real thing is actually fake, they're fake, and they know it.
Okay. Yeah, I think I follow that. So yeah, I think I would agree with that. So on yesterday's live stream, Tom mentioned that.
And don't get me wrong, trolls ain't worth it.
Yeah, no. that the Apollo 16 mission actually landed on the moon yesterday, back in 1972 or so. And in the back of my head, there was a little bell, that went off, ding, 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 and it's like, there was something about that mission that I couldn't quite remember at the time, but I sort of glanced at it later on, and it's like, you know what? Apollo 16 was the first time that we ever put and used a telescope on the moon.
And Page Masters was romancing of the time when the triangular ships were around.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I am, and maybe I'm jinxing it a little bit and all that, but I mean, I'm completely open, to seeing those kinds of things. I would love to. I think it'd be extremely interesting, and I don't have really a feeling one way or another about them. So come on down. I'd like to chat. And
no need to correct that, Jim. I know I have seen enough to know that we are not alone.
Yeah, and I have absolutely no doubt about that at all. Except somebody or something has to be first. So maybe we're first. Maybe. I have my doubts about that. But whether there is life elsewhere, for me, that's sort of a done deal. I think we just have to find it now. So yeah, and I think we will. Yeah, easy as that. But Apollo 16 put the first telescope on the moon, and this sort of got me going again, thinking about the Lunar Observatory that I would very, very, very much like to help work on in some way, right? I'm not really interested in like running a project like that, or but I'm just trying to get that kind of idea out there, because I think it's great, and I mean, we seem to want to have some kind of active presence on the moon, and I think having a moderately major observatory on the moon would satisfy that. Now, the Apollo 16 astronauts did it first, but right now, as we speak, the Chinese Chong 3, they have a telescope on the moon, and it's actually been running since about 2014 or so. They have published a few papers, and I think that continues to run. It's pretty small, though. I think it's like a 3-inch telescope, or it's really, really, really small, which
now, if we
it
was
doesn't
off
matter.
to see the data from that Chinese telescope, I think we need to learn how to do Mandarin.
Well, they're making observations, and one of the great advantages to having an observatory on the moon is that you can observe targets for very, very long periods of time. You got to remember that the rotation
So Daniel is saying that it's probably better if you get it on the moon than to get the JWST up.
Well, you know, I'm an advocate for doing all of the above. I think that we should have 100 HSTs up there right now, right?
Well,
And
JWST.
and JWST and a lunar observatory and we can do it all. It's the only thing that is stopping us is the will to do it. That's it. That's
That's
it.
right.
I love to get Ethernet real soon.
Yeah, yeah.
So what Ethernet's going to do is going to be the same thing like Ethernet, but you just get like an L-band patch antenna with an LNA, a specially designed computer with a Wi-Fi adapter, and all you gotta do is turn it on, get it ready, get it configured, and then you can use the Wi-Fi to connect to your computer and get Ethernet content.
Sweet, nice.
I
So
love
yeah, let's
if I have the way and to do it, because there's some concerns going on. I'm not going to tell you what, but if I can do it, and I do have the money, I might be able to put like an L-band antenna with an LNA, probably a specially designed computer to capture the L-band signals,
nice.
and I'll just be catching something in the L-band.
Nice. That'll be nice. All right.
Because think about, you can get the GOAS, you can get the Inmarsats, and when Ethernet comes, you might be able to get them as well. I haven't been checking on Ethernet lately. That's the thing.
Cool. Let's go over and take a look at the Apollo 16 telescope and spectrograph. They actually got images and spectra, and we can actually look at all of that. And I gotta tell you that the pictures of Earth looking in on the ultraviolet are just absolutely astonishing. So let's go over there, and I think, am I sharing my screen? I'm trying to share my screen. It's being really slow.
Yeah, you just lag quite a bit too.
I'm gonna hide that. Yeah, well, it's the old potato.
You're saying at 400 megahertz waves, I might be able to get some scattered band, right?
I'm not.
It's something called radio burst.
Yeah, you'll have to look into that. So there is the telescope on the moon, sitting on the moon there.
I'm pretty sure for what I want to do, I can use something like that, but I'm going to need converters.
Cool.
Because I think you can cause a mismatch and you can damage the system.
I think so.
Because I think
right.
The SCRs are more 50 ohm, and like our system uses 75 and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so there it is on the moon. Looking around, it's I'm not quite sure if this is like gold plated or not, but it probably was. That allows it, to cool off, I think, a little bit more thermally. I think that's a little bit better to deal with. So there it is, sitting in the shadow of the lander. There, the astronauts had to drag it out and actually set it up and everything, and point it. So what? Let's go back here. I've actually found this. We can just zoom in on that, I think. Can we? Yeah, we can. So there it is. So pretty amazing. I guess this is for taking the pictures, and this is probably the spectrograph here. But you can sort of see, you know, it's not very big. You know, it's a few inches. It actually looks like a refractor. It looks like there's a lens on the front. I forget exactly. I looked into this a little a while ago, but don't recall at the moment exactly um, um, what the characteristics of this scope was. I don't think that they were able to point it very much, but they were. I think they were able to rotate it this way, and then, you know, do the up and down thing here. So yeah, I found this really amazing site that actually has all the data. So let's just sort of go through these. And so there's an image of the Earth taken in the ultraviolet. And what surprised me was, you know, here are the poles, but look at this band of ultraviolet light right around, you know, the center of the Earth there on the equator. So pretty amazing. You can see, you know, this was some kind of a longish exposure. You can see, you know, the star trails here. So I'm just going to sort of page through these and sort of see. And I guess, you know, I'm seeing diffraction spikes here. So let's see, I think, yeah, we can. So it's probably some kind of a reflector, I guess. If it was a refractor, you wouldn't see these diffraction spikes. So there we go. Let's go back here. I think, yeah, it puts us back at the beginning. So I'm going to try not to zoom in. So here's an image of a galaxy. Forget which one. So I think this is a spectrum, and I can't claim to really know how to interpret this. I'm not quite sure if this is sort of, you know, the frequency axis, or if this is the frequency axis, and what we're actually seeing is some kind of an emission line here. I'm not quite sure, but interesting anyway. So there's another galaxy. This actually looks like Messier 82. I'm not quite sure if it is or not, but it sort of looks like it is. Again, you know, all these are seen in the ultraviolet. That is one of the nice things about being in space, is that you know, the windows to the spectrum just open wide open. You know, the atmosphere of the Earth blocks a lot of the spectrum. So, you know, we're just not able to see this kind of stuff from the ground. Now, of course, you know, the stars are going to be in the same place, but the actual light is going to be different. So here, I'm just going to keep paging through. See, so this looks like exactly the same as that, but just a longer exposure. So they were experimenting with exposure times and seeing what's what. Looks like the same field of view here, same kind of thing there. So these are images from the moon of the Apollo 16 telescope that they brought up there with them. Isn't that just beautiful? It's absolutely astonishing. Wow. Look at that.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Just like I'm, you know, and I don't know.
And this
anything.
Is like just using film, right?
They, you know, that's a good question, Bobby, because you know
I think like everybody that was like before the rise of digital cameras, everything's got pretty much got to be done with film.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure because this has to be sensitive to the ultraviolet. So I'm not quite sure what kind of films were available, you know, to do that. Um, you're probably right, though. It was some kind of actual um, um, film. Probably not digital. Possible, though. Possible. Not quite sure. Not quite sure. I'm also not exactly sure where they're looking or what the field of view is here.
Because there's something that may found may be true when laserdisc and compact discs were first coming up. They were using more of analog sound than digital.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's sort of an indication.
Pagemaster is saying that it was filmed. There's a film transport that was mounted on top of the telescope.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. And, you know, this is sort of an indication on the edge here. See how it's sort of torn up and all that? Yeah, it's probably film. So there's another image of that galaxy. There's a longer exposure and all kinds of funny things in here. You know, little, I don't know if that's you know, like hairs or pieces of dirt, or the film got scratched. You know, it's kind of hard to tell. So there's a shorter exposure of the same field. There's another spectrum, and I'm sort of seeing, I don't know if you can see it here, but I'm sort of seeing lines going that way. So maybe, yeah, I know those are pretty dark. Here's, so yeah, I think this away is wavelength.
Yeah.
And then
makes you
we're
think
seeing,
like how Voyager was able to get content for whenever it was exploring the solar system.
Planning. Careful planning.
Probably may have a hard drive, and when it was time, they'll just go ahead and transmit the signal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I think most, if not all, spacecraft have, you know, some kind of memory of some sort, be it a hard drive or flash memory, you know, whatever. Yeah.
I don't think Flash was thought of until about the start of 2K. So I was thinking about more like hard drive and stuff.
Yeah. Yep. I think you're right. Longer exposure. There's something right over here. Who knows? Not quite sure if that's some kind of a distortion or if that's an actual thing. More spectra.
Because another thing is, when computers first came along, there were no such thing as like PROM, EEPROM, EEPROM. There was just ROM.
Right. Yep. Very true. So there's some star streaks there. Bumping the telescope, you know, on the moon. They're walking around bumping the telescope. So.
Which is a no-no.
But there's quite a bit of this. I need to look into this a little bit more and see if any, you know, actual science.
Another thing that makes me want to say, what is the oldest image format that we had?
Oh, well, FITS goes back to the, I think to the, at least the 70s, if not earlier. So yeah, not quite sure. It's a good question. So again, you know, these spectra.
Okay, so right now you can just say FITS for now, right?
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Something worth investigating, I would think. So yeah, is this wavelength or is this way wavelength? Not quite sure. Not quite sure. We're seeing there. There's that galaxy again. More star fields. Looks like a longer
Page
exposure.
Master about the Apollo 16, that telescope was named the Dr. Coroner's telescope, named after the man who invented the telescope.
Sweet. Nice. Oh, that's a little overexposed there. So there's more spectra. See, these look like emission lines to me. So
Yeah, I say let's raise our glasses to George Robert Cornelius. Cheers.
of course, cheers. Oh man, I'm empty. It's a crisis.
You suck.
It's a crisis. Okay, so here are some pictures of the Earth that they took. Here's an overexposed image of the Earth. A little bit more there. There's some, I don't know what they're doing there. Bright star. Same bright star, different exposure time, it looks like. Maybe the same bright star.
Remember, those guys were astronauts, not necessarily astronomers.
They were told where to point and what button to push, and I think that's about it. I think
That's
you're right,
it.
Atta. Yeah. I mean, they were engineers too, to a certain extent. But oh wow, isn't that cool? So there's an overexposed Earth, it looks like. There we go. So there's Earth with some background stars. Isn't that just amazing? Let me try to zoom in on that. Oh, it's not going to let me.
Oh.
Hold on. All right.
I think with archive images, you should be able to download them.
Boy, I
Yes.
like that one.
Yeah, isn't that beautiful?
Oh,
Oh, I got a howling doggy again.
geez. Ouch.
I think if you have a TV in the living room with a Fire Stick or a Roku, you should go to YouTube on that and search for Relax My Dog, and they usually either have some streams or maybe something that can relax your dog.
Oh, the only reason why he is howling is because Mama isn't here. So he's just going to howl.
I figured that was the reason why.
She's
Sure.
all right. Yeah. It's just Mom isn't around, so it's the end of the world. So I'm not quite sure
Yeah.
what's going on here. If these are different filters, not quite sure what's going on there, or if they just didn't advance the film far enough. So it's hard to tell.
I don't know.
He sounds like he's dying.
Yeah.
He's just
I've
wailing and wailing.
Now you see that Budweiser commercial when his master left to go with some friends drinking and stuff, and he kept on waiting. The dog kept on waiting, and by the next day comes the master came and stuff, and was hoping for what just happened.
Mhm.
And it gets to show you that when you're with people that drinks, bad things will happen if there's no police around.
Yeah, well,
Uh-oh.
I think that's about right.
Yeah. Usually when there's police around And let's say you do DWI checkpoint. Yeah, you definitely can get some people going to jail and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't that just a fantastic? You know, this is us. This is the Earth with these
Oh,
background
I like that. I
stars.
love
Isn't
that shot.
Isn't that just beautiful? Look at the equatorial thing here. That's the thing that really surprised me. That there's this glow going right around the center of the Earth. That's
Yeah.
yeah, kind of interesting. There's a longer exposure there to really bring it out. So this is obviously, you know, the lit side, and this is the dark side over here. There's more spectra. Spectra look really, really good. Really, really nice.
Oh, boy.
Now, out of my curiosity, have you ever seen the images of Earth from the ISS?
Oh, sure, of course.
Oh, yeah.
They are really, really beautiful.
They are. It's a nice planet we have here.
Yeah.
Oh, Page Masters give you a suggestion. You should
What's that?
record. You should record your wife's voice and play it back for the dog, so the dog can hear her mama's voice.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
I-
Also, get a pillow or something that she slept on and
Yeah.
put it in with the dog. Dogs like that kind of odor stuff.
oh yeah, you know, tried that. Doesn't work.
So
Didn't
what you
Nope.
gave us here, Paige Waster, Paige
He wants the real thing.
That is the only thing that is going to satisfy. So
He wants
No, he's-
the real thing.
Yeah,
oh,
he's
okay.
okay.
So
He's
Page
just sad.
Master, if you check the chat, give us a link about the telescope that was used for Apollo 16.
Oh, cool. All
Oh,
right.
good. Yeah, good. Excellent. Let's take a look. Since it was suggested, I always like to dive into these things.
Oh, wow. There we go.
NASA.gov. Okay, here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the picture I was showing
That's right. That's the one on.
before, just a little higher res. Now, I gotta say that when I go to NASA.gov, it brings my machine to its knees, and I'm afraid that's what's going to happen here if I don't
Yeah.
axe this. Probably
Kill
already
the
have.
other tabs and sit in that one.
Well, that's probably a good idea. Let's see. Do I need that one? No, I don't need that one. I don't need that one. I don't need that one, and I don't need that
And then
one. Okay.
retry that link.
Yeah, but you know, the NASA sites are notorious for JavaScript, and you got to be a good programmer to not make them just completely overwhelm old potatoes. So here we go. Yeah, I think I was looking at this a while ago too. So yeah, very, very cool. Okay, yeah, just a little blurb, but there's this is one of the ways that they actually discovered that pieces of the atmosphere of the Earth actually extend beyond the orbit of the Moon. I forget what that's called, but all right, let's keep moving here. Lots and lots of images, as you can see. Again, you know, I'm not quite sure what the field of view is here. Not quite sure where they're looking. Probably find out. Oh, I guess that's it. Oh, no, maybe not. Okay, these are just... Okay, well, there's another Earth shot. Pretty amazing.
I'm pretty sure that my Blackie has been missing his other master, who is my mom.
Yeah, well, you know, they get very, very attached to us, and so yeah, it only makes sense. So, yeah, I'm thinking that this is Messier 82. I'm thinking it is. Wonder if there's any way that we
And
can.
speaking of dogs, my uncle's dog might be having some more puppies.
Wow. Well, that happens. More
I
star
never
fields.
knew that if you never spay or neuter your female cat, okay, that female cat, 4 months after her birth, she can actually have babies on the spot.
Ooh,
It's true. It's very, very true.
that makes me hurt to think about it. Oh,
Yeah. Well, here's a couple of stars. Pretty nice. Again, I'm not quite sure where they're looking or what the field of view is here, but it's pretty flat, right? There's a little bit of tracking errors, it looks like, but it looks like even the edges are pretty flat. So that's a very, very well designed system for sure. Nice bright star right there. There's a longer exposure when you start to see streaks. I don't know if this telescope was able to track, which sort of implies that maybe this is a pretty wide field of view. But yeah, I don't recognize this pattern in terms of any constellation or anything. So I don't think it's quite that large of a field of view, but might be able to find out where they were looking. So there's another emission line in the spectrum. Pretty cool. There's that galaxy again. I don't think that this thing just loops and loops and loops. Have we seen these already? Maybe we have. Yeah, I think we have. I think we've looped.
Yeah.
Maybe looped through these already. I figured it would probably stop, but maybe it just continuously loops.
And
there's no end to it. Yes. Yeah. Well, you know what? I think you're going to lose me as well. I'm noticing what time it is, and yeah, I think it's about time to get on out of here. Plus, I got to take care of this doggy. So yeah, he just he's got to get a little bit of attention, and he'll be fine. So he's just, mom's away. And that is just the absolute end of the world. So I will try, to comfort him as much as I can. Who knows? Anyway, if anybody is interested in helping me put an observatory on the moon, I supplied a link over to a Discord server that I started, I don't know, about a month ago or so. And let me repost that because like I said, I don't think that I would necessarily be the best candidate to run that kind of an operation, but I want to try to suggest to you and to many others that I think that we can have a go at this. It's there isn't anything new that has to be done. It's all we really have to do, and I'm simplifying this a little bit, but it's all we really have to do.
Bill Skywatcher is live with his thing.
Oh, shows the login page.
You gotta sign up, Chet. Gotta sign up.
Yeah,
right.
I guess you're going to have to sign up over onto Discord. Yeah, I think that's your way in.
Yeah, sign up, you big dummy.
Well, one step at a time. So that's all right. Yeah, it's all we really have to do is sort of put all the pieces together. We know how to successfully land on the moon. We already have telescopes up there. There's a group right now, the International Lunar Observatory Association, who is going to be putting a 7-centimeter telescope on the moon via Moon Express. They're going to be landing near the lunar South Pole, and they're going to have a 7-centimeter telescope up there. Now, what I would like to do is put like a 0.5-meter telescope up there. And I think that is completely doable. The primary advantage is to be able to observe things for a continuously long period of time. The sky rotates 25 times slower than on Earth. So we can really observe things for a really, really, really long period of time. So sort of imagine, all the advantages of TESS and all the advantages of the Space Telescope. Both of those things. So yeah. I want this to be a commercial enterprise. I don't want NASA involved at all. I don't think it has to be anymore. I think the most involvement I would want from them is to sort of let us go, by saying you're ready, to launch. Go for it. But I think that this can be a commercial thing. I think it would just be like a regular observatory where the astronomers would buy telescope time, and but the capabilities there would be very, very different than those on Earth. And there are advantages to having something right on the ground. You don't need gyros. You don't need stabilization things. Now, there are some difficulties with the moon, primarily dust and temperature. But those two things you can definitely deal with. As I said, the Chinese have had a telescope up there for like 5 years now, and it's still operational. It's still going. So, are these problems big problems? I don't know. Doesn't look like they're that big of a deal. So we'll see. Anyway, join me over there if you want, and I would just like to get this going. So, all right. I think for now I'm going to get on out of here. So everybody have a great evening, a great day. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up. Spread the word. I'm here spreading my passion for space and science and astronomy and all of those things. And it is just great, great, great fun to come in every single day and be able to talk about these things with a great group of people. Great, great, great. So, okay, everybody, I'm going to get out of here for now. So take care, peace, cheers, and all that. And I will see you on the spin. See you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.